Even so, O Menelaus, was your heart made glad within you? He turned to Antilochus and said, Now Antilochus, angry though I have been, I can give way to you of my own free will, and you have never been headstrong nor ill-disposed hitherto, but this time your youth has got the better of your judgment. Be careful how you outweigh your betters in future. No one else could have brought me round so easily, but your good father, your brother, and yourself have all of you had infinite trouble on my behalf. I therefore yield to your entreaty and will give them up to marry you. Mind though it indeed be, the people will thus see that I am neither harsh nor vindictive. With this he gave the mayor over to Antilochus' comrade, Nomon, and then he took the cauldron, Neuronus, who had come forth carried off 2 talents of gold, and the 5th prize, the 2-handled urn being awarded. Achilles gave it to Nestor, holding up to him among the assembly, Argive and saying, Take this my good friend, as an heirloom and memorial of the funeral of Patroclus, for you shall see him no more among the Argives. I give you this prize, though you cannot win one. You can now neither wrestle nor fight, and cannot enter for the javelin match, nor foot races, for the hand of age hath been laid heavily upon you. So saying, he gave the urn over to Nestor, who received it gladly and answered, My son, all that you have said is true. There is no strength now in my legs and feet, nor can I hit it out with my hands from either shoulder. Would that I were so young and strong as when the Epeans were bearing King Amarionicus in Buprasium, his sons offered prizes in his honor. There was then more that could fight with me, neither of the Epeans nor of the Pylians themselves, nor the Attilians. In boxing I overcame Clytomedes, son of Enos, in wrestling, and Anticus of Plerion, who had come forward against me. Epiclus was a good runner, but I beat him and drew farther with my spear than either Philus or Polydorus. In chariot racing alone did the 2 sons of Actor surpass me by crowding their horses in front of me, for they were angry at the way victory had gone, at the greater part of the prizes remaining in the place in which they had been offered. They were twins, and then one kept on holding the reins, and holding the reins while the other plied the whip. Such was I then, but now I must leave these matters to younger men. I was thou before the weight of years, but in those days I was eminent among heroes. And now, sir, go on with the funeral contest in honor of your comrade. Gladly do I accept this urn, and my heart rejoices that you do not forget me, but are ever mindful of my goodwill towards you, and respect due to me from the Phrygians, for all which may the grace of heaven be vouchsafed you in great abundance. Thereon son Peleus, when he had listened to all his thanks of Nestor, went about among the concourse of the Phrygians, and presently offered prizes for skill in the painful art of boxing. He brought out a strong mule, and made it in fast in the middle of the crowd, as she mule, never yet broken, but 6 years old, when it is hardest of all to break them. This was for the victory, for the vanquish. He had offered a double cup. Then he stood up and said among the Argives, Son of Butrius and all the Phrygians, I invite our 2 champion boxers to lay about unlawfully and compete for these prizes. He to whom Apollo vouchsafes the greater endurance, and whom the Phrygians acknowledge as a victor, shall take the mule back with him to his own tent, while he that is vanquished shall have the double cup. As he spoke, there stood up the champion, both brave and of great stature, the skillful boxer Epius, son of Penelops. He laid his hand on the mule, and said, Let the man who is to have the cup come hither, for none but myself will take the mule. I am the best boxer of all here present, and none can beat me. It is not enough that I should fall short of you in actual fighting. Still no man can be good at everything. I tell you plainly, and it shall come true, that if any man will box with me, I will bruise his body and break his bones. Therefore, let his friends stay here in a body, and be at hand to take him away when I have done with him. They all held their peace, and no man rose save Euryalus, son of Messatius, who was the son of Pallas. Messatius went to Thebes after the fall of Oedipus to attend his funeral, and he beat all the people Cadmus, the son of Tydeus, was Euryalus' second, cheering him on and hoping heartily that he would win. First he put a waistband round him, and then he gave him some well-cut thongs of oxhide. The 2 men being now cursed once into the middle of the ring, immediately fell to. Heavily indeed did they punish one another, and lay about them with their bony fists. One could hear the horrid crashing of their jaws, and there sweated from every pore of their skin. Presently Epius came on and gave Euryalus a blow on the jaws. He was looking round. Euryalus could not keep his legs. They gave way under him in a moment, and he sprang up with a bound as a fish leaps in the air near some shore that is all bestrewn with sea wrack. When Boreas heard the top of the waves and then falls back into the deep water, the noble Epius caught hold of him and raised him up. His comrades also came round him and led him from the ring unsteadily in his gait, his head hanging on one side and spitting great clots of gore. They set him down in a swoon, and then went to fetch the double cup. The son of Peleus now brought out the prizes for the 3rd contest, and showed them to the Argives. These were the painful art of wrestling for the winner. There was a great tripod ready for the setting upon the fire, and the Phrygians valued among themselves at 12 oxen. For the loser he brought out a woman skilled in all manner of arts, and they valued her at 4 oxen. He rose and said among the Argives, Stand forward, you who will essay this contest. Forthwith up rose great Ajax, son of Telamon, and crafty Odysseus. All whiles rose also. The 2 girded themselves and went into the middle of the ring. They grabbed each other in their strong hands, like the rafters which some master builder frames for the roof of a high house, to keep the wind out. Their black bones cracked as they took at one another with their mighty arms, and sweat rained from them in torrents. Many a bloody whale sprang up on their sides and shoulders, but they kept on striding with might and main for victory into the tripod. Odysseus could not throw Ajax, or Ajax him. Odysseus was too strong for him. But when the Phrygians began to tire of watching them, Ajax said to Odysseus, Odysseus, son of noble Aretus, you shall either lift me or I you, and let Zeus settle it between us. He lifted him from the ground as he spoke, but Odysseus did not forget his cunning. He hit Ajax in the hollow at the back with his knee, so that he could not keep his feet, but fell on his back, with Odysseus lying upon his chest, and all beside marveled. Then Odysseus in turn lifted Ajax and stirred him a little from the ground, but could not lift him right off. The knees sank under him, and the 2 fell side by side on the ground, and were all begrimed with dust. They now sprang towards one another, and were for wrestling yet a 3rd time, but Achilles rose and stayed them. Put not each other further, said he, to such cruel suffering the victory is both alike. Take each of you an equal prize, and without the Phrygians not compete. Thus did he speak, and they did even as he said, and put on their shirts again after wiping the dust from off their bodies. The son of Peleus then offered prizes for the speed of running, a mixing ball, beautifully wrought of pure silver, it holding 6 measures, and far exceeded all others in the whole world for beauty. It was the work of the cunning artificers in Sidon, and had been brought into the port by the Phoenicians from beyond the sea, who had paid a present of it to Thoas. Euonymus, son of Jason, had given it to Patroclus in ransom of Priam's son Lycaon, and Achilles now offered it in prize and honor of his comrade to him, who should be the swiftest runner. For the 2nd prize he offered a huge large ox, well fat, and while for the last there was to be half the talents of gold. He then rose and said among the Argives, Stand forward, you who will essay this contest. Forthwith uprose fleet Ajax, son of Oileus, of cunning Odysseus, and Nestor's son Antilochus, the fastest runner among all the youth of his time,